Hello and welcome. My name is Rachel Hupp, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about Self-Care Sunday. So, welcome. Self-care has transformed a lot over the years. It began as a way to encourage people to do more for themselves, which is amazing. But somewhere along the way, it became something that we felt like we had to do. Just one more thing to check off an already full to-do list. So if you're feeling a little overwhelmed with this idea of creating the perfect self-care routine, then I'll encourage you to take a step back. And rather than focusing on having to fit self-care into your daily life, why don't we start with one day a week? So why do self-care on Sunday? Well, Sunday is actually a perfect day to dedicate to yourself because it's often already a day of rest for many of us. You're winding down after a fun weekend, you're likely getting ready for a new week to begin. So it's a great time to take advantage of the downtime by adding some self-care activities to your routine. So let's talk about how you can set your week up for a nice and successful self-care routine that works for you. First things first, you need to figure out what your routine is going to be on Sundays or whatever day works best for you. Don't forget that self-care doesn't have to be done alone. So if you have a busy house, don't worry, you can still do this. It's also important to recognize that self-care can vary from week to week. The important thing is that you're making time to focus on your self-care. That might mean an hour during the day, or it might mean changing your entire routine for the day, or even half of the day. So think of Sundays as your reset day. This is a chance to not only get your planning done for the week, but also to give yourself some time to relax and unwind, time to reset your body and your mind for another busy week. So how is self-care different from daily self-care? Well, it's really not. You're still going to choose activities that are going to help you to relax, that are good for your body, for your mind, for your overall wellness. But on Sundays, you might find that you have a little bit more free time. So maybe you won't feel as pressured to fit it all in before or after work or during your bedtime routine. Sundays open up new possibilities to incorporate more self-care into your day, whether you choose to practice self-care alone or with your family. So let's take a moment or so to think about your current Sunday routine. In order to turn Sunday into your weekly self-care day, you need to take some time to consider what you do now on Sundays. And this type of self-reflection is going to help you determine if there are things that can only be done on Sundays, or if you can move some things around to different days to give yourself some more time for yourself on Sundays. So I encourage you to take a few moments today and just make a list of everything you tend to do on Sundays. Then look at that list and cross off anything that's not really necessary or that may no longer be serving you. Then look at what's left and determine if any of those activities could be moved to Saturday or to a different day during the week. So let's talk about some fun ideas for Sunday self-care activities. The good news is that self-care on Sunday is pretty much the same as what you would do any other day of the week, but it's more about dedicating more time to yourself, especially if you find that you don't have that much time during the week to really focus on yourself. So here are some wonderful activities that can be great to do on Sundays. Let yourself sleep in. How amazing does that feel? Go to brunch with some friends, head to the park or the beach with your kids or your dogs. Have an hour of pampering, get your nails done or get a massage, catch up on reading or creative projects. Even taking time to get ready for the week can feel like self-care. Now let's talk about the differences between introverts and extroverts and how their self-care needs might vary. I personally am an introvert, and if you're like me, you might find that you are more relaxed when you're alone. Now, this doesn't mean that we want to be alone all the time or that we should be alone all the time, but we often need a little bit of time to ourselves each day to recharge and to really help maintain our composure. So enjoy some quiet solitude on Sundays. Self-care for introverts like me can be as simple as just making sure we have some quiet alone time. We need this time to ourselves to regroup, to relax. It can be challenging when we spend all day around other people and never have this time alone. And then I don't know about you, but these nature-inspired activities are wonderful for introverts like me. I love spending time outside. Again, it's a great way to spend some time in a quiet and peaceful environment. So if you're an introvert too, I'll invite you to try to find some activities that you can participate in that will encourage you to spend more time outside. And last but not least, there's certainly more ideas than this, but try to find ways to embrace your creative side. So an amazing way to practice self-care as an introvert is to do something creative. Learn how to crochet, write a poem or a short story, even coloring in an adult coloring book or beginning to paint. Now let's talk about extroverts. Extroverts tend to be more social creatures. They get their energy from being around other people. And so if you consider yourself to be an extrovert, you probably enjoy time with others more so than time alone. But what does that mean for your self-care routine? Well, I have some tips for practicing self-care for those of you who identify as an extrovert. Enjoy social time with your friends. So it might be a little more up your alley to schedule in some time with your friends. What better way is there to practice self-care than by spending time with those you love the most? Volunteer your time. This is great if you're looking for something a little more meaningful, something that might feel more fulfilling. Maybe you want to volunteer somewhere as part of your own self-care routine. You can look into local community shelters, maybe local animal shelters, and just see where you can offer up your help and your services. Another great social activity for extroverts that can help with your self-care is joining a local club, like a book club. So you're going to be encouraged to practice self-care while getting together in a social environment with others periodically and chat and talk about the book or whatever type of club you choose. Now, it's important to recognize that those activities for introverts and extroverts aren't necessarily just from one or the other. Introverts can certainly enjoy spending time with friends, while extroverts certainly enjoy time in nature and alone time as well. But just a few activities that might appeal more to our different personalities. So let's dive into a few more tips for your own self-care Sunday routine. It's important to recognize that self-care does not just fulfill one need in our lives. Different activities provoke different benefits, including helping with our emotional, our mental, and our physical health. What works best for you is going to be something that helps you to feel relaxed, something that helps you de-stress, it improves your mood, and it's something that you absolutely love to do. Your self-care needs can change regularly. So just because you've committed to writing in your journal and meditating every morning as part of your self-care routine, it doesn't mean that you have to do that forever. Sometimes what you choose as your self-care activity is going to change, or you might need to make adjustments based on your schedule. So revisit what you're doing for self-care on a regular basis. As you find your life changes, as the seasons change, your self-care and what's actually going to benefit you the most is going to change as well. Now, a common mistake is trying to force self-care, and I cannot say this enough. Your self-care routine should not make you feel more stressed. If it is, that's a sign that you're forcing yourself to do something that you don't want to do, and it's not serving you. Now, this might be because you found something your friend is participating in, or you read that it's a good idea, but it's important to remember that everybody is different and everybody is going to benefit from different things. So please make sure that your self-care routine works for you. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up for today. We've talked a lot of different ideas for self-care. So if you are ready to set up your self-care routine and you need a little bit of help with that, feel free to email me at hello@rachelhupp.com. And you can also connect with me on the web at www.rachelhupp.com. Again, my name is Rachel Hupp, and I am a health coach and a yoga instructor, and I am just so grateful to you for being here. And I hope that these self-care techniques and tips really help you to incorporate more self-care into your daily routines.